war, bank crisis, food crisis, aliens. It's all kinds of stuff just thrown at you all the time, keeping you in perpetual fear because, you know, how are you gonna deal with all this? I mean, maybe you should go off into a bunker somewhere, but guess what? There's another way to do this without having to resort to go off from all society and hide out until it's all over. There's a systematic way to approach this, and I'm hoping that you'll join me in this. Now, it's very simple, very easy, but first we gotta understand really what's going on. Right now, it seems like most of us are stuck in fear, scrolling through any kind of information we can get so that we can understand what to do next to basically stay safe. Because if they keep us in a perpetual state of fear, there's no chance for transformation. And transformation is key to getting to the next level. And from my perspective, I think above all else, they don't want us to get to the next level. They want to control us. I think that's all kind of obvious. I think most people would agree with that, right? If we don't do anything and we just continue on and we just respond to whatever is going on, they're going to win. But the thing of it is, I feel like the whole idea of an individual going forth to try to save the world is pretty pointless and ridiculous. You're just not going to have the leverage to do that, right? But there is something about the tipping point that happens, the micro and the macro, the individual affecting the larger collective in some ways, right? So what we do on an individual level does affect what we do as a collective. And there's a tipping point whereby, you know, it's like the 100th monkey effect, where we get to a certain place and all of what we understand suddenly just transfers to the rest of us. And Greg Braden has gone into the fact that it doesn't have to be a large amount of people, and that's really inspiring. But if we don't do anything, or at least try on an individual level to do something, then I think they're going to win. One of the more popular solutions, I think, to the whole thing is to basically go forth and consume all kinds of different information. And it's really fun, actually. You learn about aliens, or you learn about alternative history, Tartaria, and you learn about esoteric things, or you learn about spirituality, let's say. And the way all these things come together is just, it's mind-boggling. And you go down rabbit holes, but in the end, what is it? It's just information. Consuming information isn't enough. And that's one of the key elements to the whole thing. If we're overwhelmed by so much information and we just consume it and consume it and consume it, both on the level of fear, where we figure if we consume enough, we'll assuage the fear that we have. But on the other side of that, we may get to this conception that if we consume the information, then we know it, when in fact we need to do so much more. And that's what this system is all about. It's key to not only consume the information, but use a crucible of actions that allow that information to weave into our understanding so that there is transformation that takes place. It's critical that we get to the next level, because otherwise we're basically going to be like a lottery winner who has no idea what to do with the money that comes in, and it ends up harming them more than it helps them. And so all these technologies that are supposed to be hidden, when we get those, if we're not at the right level, they're not going to do us any good. In fact, they may even do us great harm. So let me tell you basically what this is. It's creating video content. I know. You're like, okay, but I'm not going to create video content. Through the alchemy of video content creation, there's a transformation that happens, because the information that you get, you're not just teaching it, you're playing with the information from many different angles. You start to understand and simplify the information much more than just teaching. And so that's why I think the crucible of video content creation is so important for each of us to do, because when we do that, we transform then through that information. We grok it at a level we couldn't in any other method. And so this helps towards our transformation. So many people already do it. It doesn't seem like it's worthwhile. But I can tell you, it is worthwhile, and it works. And the reason it works is because, again, it's an alchemy of ideas going into a crucible of actions. You do more than just tell someone else about it. you're playing with the ideas in many fascinating ways. See, each time you touch the content, you look at it from a different angle. You also kind of weave it into your understanding a bit more. So by the time you're done doing a video, you really start to understand the material a lot better. And you go through kind of a transformation by doing this on a consistent basis. Then that can help us individually transform. Like, let's say you're looking into spirituality and you love Christ, and you can then take the ideas that are expounded upon and you can tell other people about it within a video. And you can do it with shorts. It's only less than 60 seconds, and your knowledge of and understanding grows. But you also share it with other people, and you begin to grow an audience around that idea, and it inspires them. This is all going to help us individually and also collectively. And I think it's that transformation we need. Suppose there's a short window for which we can achieve the result of reaching that next level. And if we don't during this certain time period, we basically stay at this controlled level of fear for another, 100,000 years or whatever it might be. I don't know. Whether any of this is true or not really doesn't matter as much as basically having the tools to adapt to what comes next, because none of us know what comes next, right? But when we're not living in fear and we're guiding a part of ourselves towards greater understanding and transformation, then we have those tools to go over, under, through, and around whatever comes next. And we do it confidently. We do it thriving together instead of alone in a bunker somewhere. And so I think creating video is so important, and I just wish that more people would do it. And what are the obstacles? Maybe you don't want to be in front of camera, but you can get around that by doing shorts, by doing Facebook Lives. You can actually start getting around your fear of camera. And when you look more deeply at why you might not want to be on camera, you realize it's by design. They want us to be unworthy and all that kind of stuff that gets in the way. Well, once you level up and start to grow in your voice, connecting with other people, when you grow with that, there's something even more that happens. That is part of the transformation in video. Video is not just sharing ideas. It's a crucible of transformation. And so that's why I'm coming to you now to say, take the time to do this. Start a channel. Start doing shorts. You won't regret it. You really won't regret it. And even if you do and you give up on the whole thing and you just say, okay, this isn't for me, I think it's something you'll come back to, because it's not just about going through the video, it's going through the information. It's going through the transformation. And you can delve into books, some books that you just love, and share that information. And look at what Jason Bashir's of Archaics is doing. He's got all those older books and he's bringing that out into the open, and how much it inspires people and also gets us to another level of understanding of our history and how much we've been hoodwinked along the way, right? And so that's so key. If he didn't do that, look at how many people wouldn't get that inspiration. Each one of you, if you don't do it also, even if you touch just a handful of people, the audience that you do affect really, really is important. And like I said, there's a tipping point that happens. And it's really important to get to that tipping point, but we don't know. Who are these handful of people that might create that tipping point? We don't know who they are. It could be you. It could be the handful of people that you inspire. Who knows? But it's important that we all try to get there. We're not saving humanity, so to speak. We're more doing what we're supposed to be on this earth to do anyway. Transform and level up and become more intentional about our lives, to live more intentionally, more creatively. I hope you join me in one way or another. You don't have to join me specifically, but you just jump into it. I've got some links down below in the description. You can go down there and check them out if you want, but you don't have to. What's important is that you just go forth and start doing. If we do that, it can really help a lot, and I think it'll get people out of fear because they'll be focusing on something else. I have another video coming that will just it does get into the fearful part, but it's really kind of mind-boggling what might happen next, and it's key that we connect to each other to prevent it. If you found this video helpful, be sure to just share it, like it, whatever, and I'll see you next time.